So we are driving home, and the reason that we actually have to go home for a little bit is we've had consistent problems with our tenants even from the first week back in November. It's been a constant source of stress, unfortunately. They're now gone, so there was a bit of a process and lots of things that happened along the way, and they've left the house with a fair bit of damage as well. The real estate has been working really hard to fix a lot of the issues. It's almost at the point where it's ready to either be re-rented or whatever we decide we're going to do, but not quite, because it's as good as it's going to get, basically, without carpet being replaced and flooring being replaced and new turf. So in 4 months they've done an outstanding job. Outstanding, the amount of damage that they caused in such a short period of time.
And they were the best of the bunch.
Yeah, so that's one of the pitfalls of full-time travel if you're renting your house out. I think we were very, very unfortunate. Obviously people have great tenants, and we had some great tenants many years ago in a rental property that we used to have.
Who treated it like their own house.
Yeah, so we were really, really unlucky.
Maybe we just got spoiled with those guys.
Yeah, so this is part of the reason that we've decided that we need to be back around home for a while. We completely changed our plans because we were going to leave Broken Hill and head
north of Queensland.
to Queensland. Anyway, so I'll let Brian tell you the next part, which is good news.
We ordered a new motorhome, which is bigger than this one, because we decided early on that we probably needed a bigger one if we're going to live in it.
When did we order that? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
It was quite a few months ago now.
It was about 2 months after we got this.
Yeah, so was that, maybe it was November or something?
Yeah, so it's due in 2 months' time.
Yeah.
So
How exciting.
much bigger, much nicer, just much easier to live in, I think.
Yeah.
And a little bit more space that we need.
Yeah, and because we were living in this full time and planning on travelling for a year or two at least.
So we advertised this little bus and we sold it in 24 hours. They're very popular.
Yeah, how good was that?
It's very good. So we're taking her home to detail her and get her ready to get picked up in a few days' time.
Yeah. So, for some reason, we've had 2 updates from Jayco that the new motorhome
Has been brought forward.
We were expecting it in September, October, when we were going to come back down from far north Queensland, but it's now going to be ready in June, which is not that far away. So with all of that on our minds, and
we can sort the house out
not knowing what we were going to do
in the next couple of months, and then we'll pick up the new.
But we made the call from Broken Hill, didn't we, that we needed to just come back across, and that's why we drove all of those kilometres.
3 days back.
Yeah, in a couple of days we just decided, look, let's head home,
Sort it.
and we'll go to the bay and spend a nice week relaxing, having some downtime in our favourite place. Ups and downs. Obviously we've been having a wonderful time, but with all of that underlying stress
Behind
with the
all
house.
Other stuff.
Yeah, so we will go and check out the house today. We've got some keys and just got to accept
Do what we've got to do.
accept and move on. And this motorhome is going to some lovely people that we met the other day, and just really want to get on the road, I suppose. Good morning from Lemon Tree Passage. We're back in our house. And we've actually decided that after what happened with the tenants that we are never going to rent the house again. The real estate has done a really good job working with trades to try to repair and have the house handed back over in as close to the condition that it was when we left it to the tenants. They've had gardeners in and the gardens actually look better than they ever have. On a positive note, the grass is dead, so they had 2 dogs that were unapproved dogs, and the beautiful back grass was absolutely ruined in 4 months. So you can sort of see it's just all weed and roots, but the gardens themselves, the gardeners really cleaned everything up, put new red wood chip down, so that's a real positive, because they didn't do anything. They didn't clean, they didn't pick up a vacuum cleaner in 4 months. They had a professional cleaner in. The dust on the ceiling fans was like this thick. It's just disgusting. They managed to break the oven. There's something broken in the dishwasher. They even took the hose that I left out the front and my watering can. So, I don't know. So because of all of that, we have decided that we just can't rent it again. So over the last few days, we've gotten all of our stuff out of the void, which was under the house, and put most of our furniture back out so that we can come and go. And yeah, we're just going to, so that we can enjoy our time travelling, we're just going to use home as a base and plan our trips. So, hey, here's Brian.
Hi.
So I was just talking about the backyard and how much over the last few days we've actually put most of the furniture back in so that it's resembling our house. We've ordered.
And this is where it all started.
We've ordered a new bed, so at the moment we're just sleeping on the mattress on the floor.
And this is where it all started. Remember that first video?
Yeah. And that was seven or 8 months ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we have done a lot of travelling, and we are looking forward to doing.
It's not over yet.
A lot more travelling. And what's happening today?
We're selling our bus.
Yeah. So the new owners are coming to pick it up. In about half an hour now. So we've got to get down the hill.
Skedaddle.
And just fill in some paperwork. And we're just signing over the van. Say goodbye to the van, Brian.
Bye, Ben.
Looking beautiful. Going to her new owners today. And we haven't got too long to wait until we get the new one. About 8 weeks.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning. So we just thought we'd talk today about some tips that we can give you guys if you're thinking about renting your house out.
While you travel?
Yeah, to go full-time travelling, and just purely based on our experience.
Which wasn't a very good one.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a pleasant one at all. And I think there's probably just a couple of things that I wish I had known before just going with what the real estate agent said. So for our experience, we had a wonderful real estate agent come to the house and...
Very professional.
Oh, yeah, like she was amazing, and I felt very confident that they would manage the
property.
Yeah, the property really well. And
turns out it was her first time.
Well, that wasn't the lady that came out to the house. She was the property manager, and then she had the different girls underneath her. But we weren't even asked about the length of time that we wanted a lease to go for.
No, they just said do the 12-month one.
Yeah. And so in hindsight, and it's totally up to you. So if you're renting your house out and you don't have any experience with it, you tell the real estate agent what you want, but they'll
try and nudge you in a certain direction.
Yeah, and I think the 12-month lease is easier for them because then it's locked in and they don't have to...
Yeah, worry about it.
Yeah, they don't have to draft new leases and things like that.
But the bad side about that is you can't get the tenants out if they're destroying your house.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult.
Really hard. It's all in their favour. So
Yeah. And so for us, within the first couple of weeks, there were alarm bells.
There was damage to the house, which they claimed
bits of the fence just fell off, and which was impossible.
So the next tip, we'll talk about that in a minute, but with the term of the lease, within the first couple of weeks, we were saying to the real estate agent that we wanted these people out, and the answer was
they've got a 12-month
They've got a 12-month lease, and they have to have breach after breach.
They have to have 3 breaches before...
Yeah.
And this is New South Wales.
Yeah, and with a breach, they're basically building a case if you have to go to the tribunal to then have them, what's the word? Evicted.
Yeah.
If that's the way you want to go, and it's really, really difficult if you've got a 12-month lease. So that's...
All right. So from our experience, what did we learn?
I'll maybe start with a 3-month lease, and then if everything's okay, after the first inspection, just say, 3-month lease with view to then doing a 12-month lease.
Yep.
Should everything be okay? That would be my first tip.
That way, if there's stuff happening, they can go straight away.
Yeah, because it's once the 3-month lease is finished, then it's just a 2-week notice period, and you can ask them to leave or to move out.
Because with our experience, the alarm bell started ringing, as Kez said, after like a week or two, and after the first inspection, we were horrified with the photos. So,
and within the first couple of weeks, as Brian said, they had caused damage, I think, when they moved in, and they...
knocked boards out.
They damaged the glass sliding door and pulled a curtain rod off the wall in one of the bedrooms. But we got an email from the real estate saying that these were our issue, that they were maintenance issues. And so my next tip is take photos.
Take photos of every single thing in your house.
Yep. And luckily I had... I'd actually taken a lot of photos because we were thinking of maybe Airbnb-ing the house before we decided to do the 12-month, rental or the full-time rental. So I happened to have all those photos, but I sort of had taken photos of other things anyway, and I had photos of this particular part of the deck outside where they said
where there was nothing wrong.
The railings had just
fallen off,
come away
magically
from the deck. Take photos.
Take photos of everything. 3-month lease.
3-month lease. Landlord insurance.
All right. It's a must.
Yeah, absolutely. That was probably the best advice that the lady that came out to the house in the beginning gave me. She actually handed me a brochure for 2 different companies that specialise in landlord insurance. Just saying, the real estate agent continually told us that any damage caused by the tenants would have to be rectified or paid for.
So everything would be all right.
Yeah, kept assuring us that everything would be okay. So Brian, going back to those first photos of the first inspection after, I think they did the first inspection after, no, it was a bit longer. It was, say, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And they were terrible.
There was rubbish everywhere. They knew there was an inspection and they just didn't care. It was horrifying.
So the landlord insurance, as we said, is a must because the bond was exhausted in our situation just on things.
Just through basics.
Yeah. So that was just like cleaning, carpet steam cleaning.
Paint, repairing holes, scratches.
Yeah, and the backyard clean up.
Yep.
So once the bond was exhausted, we soon realised, after being told every step of the way that the tenants would have to pay for damage, that they actually don't. And the real estate agent had no power.
Well, they do, but it's really hard to get it.
Oh, well, you've got to go to the tribunal, but the real estate agents themselves have no power to get any more money off them. And so the landlord insurance helped us with covering...
Oh, like floor coverings. Like we had to rip carpet up and put new floors down because of all the stains.
And the back security door.
Back security door was trashed, so we would have lost that much money if we hadn't had the landlord insurance.
Yeah, otherwise you've got to go to the tribunal, and the real estate told us that we probably wouldn't get the outcome
that we wanted
anyway.
It would have just been a waste of time. And
it's very stressful, and they can end up just paying $5 a week or nothing. So there was no point, we're basically told.
All right, so the main points of renting your house out while travelling.
Go with the shorter lease to start with.
So you have that...
or period of time that you can make sure that you've got good tenants.
And you can get them out if you need to.
Yep. The landlord insurance, take photos. But
Take photos of everything.
Also, just double check with your real estate that they have actually checked references and not just accepted written references and employment.
That they actually work.
Yeah, that the employment is actually checked with the company, so that's a good tip.
Not just a phone call, you need like proof.
Yeah, I would say so. So hopefully those tips will be helpful for anybody that's thinking about renting their house out full time.
And hopefully you guys don't get the same tenants we have.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. We'd really appreciate it.
Helps us out, helps us grow the channel, bring you more content, hit the notification bell.
And that way you won't miss anything of our up and coming, I'm going to say, whole new series.
Whole new chapter.
Yeah.
And why is it?
Because we are going to be travelling around Australia in a bigger motorhome.
And we'll reveal which one we picked.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Okay.